A little birdie told me you want to be confident. Interesting. Do you think you're the kind of person that should be confident? Because confident in its essence is being sure of yourself, being sure of whatever you do, being sure of your decisions. But I see you taking absolutely no care of your body, your health, your mind, your soul, yourself. Imagine being sure of yourself while you're making all those terrible life decisions. What would happen then? Which is why if you're not confident, it is not such a bad thing. Because in this video, I will not only tell you how to become confident, but I will also tell you why you should really go step by step into confidence, how to be extrinsically confident and confident within yourself. Because truth be told, not even celebrities are confident all the time. You cannot be, you're a human. Doubts are part of life. Confidence is about how do you show up while you're moving through these doubts. All right, if you look at my old videos, you can see I come with a completely different energy compared to now. I'm a more calm energy. Now I'm of a more, I don't know, it's more calm than before. And the reason is because I was applying the steps that I will be teaching you today in those videos, and that is why you couldn't even tell if I was confident or not, but I would always appear confident in those videos. That's something that I applied even before I press record. Okay, so we're gonna go all in deep because you guys loved my weight loss challenge video. Weight loss video, so I'm pretty sure you're gonna enjoy this one too. All right, before I begin, let's speak about what confidence is. But before I answer that, first tell me, when are the times, I want you to really think about it, okay? Pause the video if you need to, and really think about it. When were the times when you felt unsure of yourself? When you felt like you weren't confident? You know, you don't really go through your day thinking, oh my God, I wish I was more confident. Certain events happen that trigger that insecurity within you that make you question, oh my God, why am I not confident? How do I become confident? So I want you to really think about those situations. Let me give you a few examples to get you going. Okay. Have you ever felt like you were not confident when you entered a party where you were new or you weren't the cool girl? Have you ever felt underconfident when you were meeting a crush or when you were wearing something that was bold for you? Here are just a few examples. Pause the video, note down every single thing. This is important. What you will see in all those events is one simple thing at its root, and that is being conscious, being aware of yourself. Every single time that you are aware of your own body, that you're aware of existing, that's when you're conscious, because that's when you're thinking, what is everybody thinking about me? And the problem with people, the only difference between people who are confident or people who are not confident is what they think when they're aware of their bodies, when they feel like the spotlight is on them. The only time you are conscious, you are aware that you're not confident, is when you feel like everybody's watching you, right? So the only difference then is a person who's confident will think, oh, everybody's watching me, and they'll be relaxed. They're used to it. And somebody who's not confident, they will often become more conscious of themselves. They'll try to fix their clothes, they'll try to fix their hair, they'll wonder what's wrong, if something's wrong with their makeup. So my one question to you is, if you want to be confident, the one thing that you need to work on is, why do you hate yourself so much? Why do you think that when you are in the spotlight, when everybody's watching you, why do you assume the worst? Why don't you think that maybe somebody is looking you up to down because your outfit rocks? Why don't you think that that girl is literally staring at you because she is blindsided by your beauty? Why do you always have to assume that whatever the other person is looking at, they're thinking about, is for the worst? Why do you think they're only thinking negative things? So the first thing that you need to do to become confident is work on your own self, your own identity, your self-image. When you think about yourself, what are the thoughts that come to your head? Are the thoughts that I'm not good enough? Are the thoughts that I'm not smart enough? I'm not pretty enough? Or are the thoughts, I am what I am. I am enough as I am. I'm beautiful. Oh my God, I have the most beautiful features. Yes, these are conversations that you're supposed to be having with yourself if you want to become confident. And I will give you some more practical tips at the end of this video. But for now, okay, now let's move on to intrinsic and extrinsic confidence. Like I told you, nobody is confident all of the time. What determines if a person is confident or not is how they move through those moments when they're having their doubts. When they're not feeling confident, do they have it in themselves to still present this front to the world and even to their own selves that they got this? Even the people who think that they've got this, they don't really believe that all of the time. Do you really think Elon Musk sits in his chair and thinks like, I've got this, I've got this, I've got this? No. But they know that they will figure a way out. And how do they know that? Because experience has shown them time and again that they can trust themselves. The reason you don't have that confidence is because you have never shown yourself that you can trust yourself. Every single time something tests you, you run away. Okay? Every single time some discomfort comes, you run away. And that isn't to say that only in business meetings or like big things. Also, when you're trying to make a promise to yourself that you'll wake up early, but it is challenging in the morning, you sleep in. At night, you really need to sit with your thoughts because you've been having a hard day and you need to sit with yourself. What do? Scroll on your phone till you fall asleep. All of that is you running from yourself. And how do you expect to ever create a trust with yourself when you're always running away from yourself? Would you trust a friend who was never there for you? How do you then expect that you will be able to trust your own self? Confidence is a crazy trust within yourself. Okay? The next thing that is very related to this is that how many times do you keep the promises that you make yourself? One other key component to confidence is showing up for yourself, being the person that you can play that blind trust fall game with. Can you blindly trust yourself? Because I don't think you can. In fact, I'm pretty sure that you can't. The reason you're watching this video is because you know that every single time you have to present this front, you cannot. And the reason for that is because you have never dealt with those uncomfortable emotions that come when you show up for yourself, when you do the things you said you were gonna do, because all of that requires you to go through the discomfort. And when you go through that discomfort, that's when you create a bond with yourself. It is even like with every single relationship. If you want to have a deeper, why did they say, okay, you probably have heard that. If you want to create a deeper relationship with your partner, go travel with them. Why is that? Because when you're traveling, there are so many things that happen. There are so many stressing factors that you actually get to know how the person reacts in different environments. That's the same thing with you. If you're always in your comfort zone, how will you ever know how you react in different environments? How will you ever... And nobody likes that part of others, right? You have to give it time. But you're never giving yourself that time. Every single time discomfort comes, you run away, like I've been telling you time and again. But when you go through these different situations, you're keeping promises to yourself, which is always a challenge for you, right? Everything that you have to make a promise to yourself for is obviously a challenge for you. Every time you wake up for gym, every time you head to the gym, every time you eat right, every time you do that task that was scary for you, you are meeting different versions of yourself. You are seeing how different versions of you react to different situations. And then that is what is building that trust. That is what is building that confidence. Third point, which is what I have personally used time and again in a lot of my videos, and that is something that I wasn't even expecting to learn. It just came to me through experience, of course. It is one of those lessons that you learn through experience. I realized that somehow I am a different person off camera and I am a different person on camera. Off camera, I'm very jolly, I'm very fun, I'm very chill. Okay, and as soon as I hit record, I get in the zone and I'm like, yeah, model face is on. How does that happen? Because I realized I wasn't even voluntarily doing that. It was just happening. And when I looked at some of my old videos, I realized that was not always the case. I looked at my own videos and I would start the camera and I would be in the middle of a road trying to like pressurize myself into a discomfort zone, and I would start recording and I would be like, okay guys, so I'm sorry, I forgot. That used to happen to me all the time because I was so conscious of myself, and I assumed that when I'm being aware of myself, I'm always assuming something. I am assuming something about what the other person outside of me is thinking about me, and that is what decides if I'm being confident or not. And I used to think, oh my god, these people are gonna think that she's trying to be an influencer. Who does she think she is? What is she doing? Because I come from a very small hometown where like people talk. Okay, they're judgmental, very judgmental. So I would often go through these thoughts. But now, somewhere along the lines, as I kept doing that, as I kept going through these moments of uncertainty, going through these moments of doubts, and these moments of being very conscious of myself, somewhere the thing just broke. That part of me that was resisting it just broke, and I would turn into a different person on camera. It would just be a trigger for me that you would just press record and I'm a different person. The reason I was able to do that was because I created an alter ego. When I'm recording, I am Anyu. When I'm not recording, I'm Anushka. And my brain has a very clear grasp of both those things because I have done that enough times to know, for my brain to know which pathway to follow, for which identity. You cannot expect to do this one day and then suddenly become confident, suddenly gain all access to this alter ego. No, that's a persona, and that's a different person altogether. You have to get to know that person. You have to get to know how they talk, how they walk, how they move, how their eyes move, how they deal with people around them, right? And that comes when you keep doing it, and when you do it, it's not going to be comfortable. But the more you do it, the more comfortable you become in this alter ego, and the easier it is for you to shift into that other person. But before that shift begins, there comes this point where you have to really, really, really push through. It is literally like a point of inertia. And this anxiety, at least from my personal experience, this anxiety just builds up, and all the negative thoughts in your head just build up, and then that one moment comes, and that's when you decide who you're going to be. In that moment, if you do the thing that you're scared of, the next time it's going to be easier. I promise you. But if you don't do it, the next time it's going to be more difficult. The next time, I can tell you, you are not going to have even this much confidence. Because that's the thing about confidence. The more you practice it, the better you get at it. That's the thing about alter egos. That's the thing about being uncomfortable. The more you do it, the better you get at it. I can tell you from my own experience, right, when I would record my vlogs, I would do it from my phones. So that phone's a small thing, right? And everybody these days is recording themselves. So it's still easier to do that. But when I did the same thing with a camera and I was at a salon, I was getting my hair washed and I wanted to get this shot of myself like I'm lying like this and I have a camera on me. Just putting my hand from this to this, knowing that everybody over there is watching me and everybody over there knows that I don't have that much followers yet, I cannot tell you the amount of anxiety that went on in my head, the amount of conversations I had in my head trying to talk myself out of it. That it's just one shot, I don't need it. The only reason I did it was not because I needed the shot, but because I wanted to make sure the next time I have to do something like this, I wouldn't have to go through the same anxiety again. So if you don't know how to push through, just remember, you will want to do this again. But if you don't push through it right now, next time it's going to be even more difficult. So do it for your future self. All right? Another thing is that you have to learn to laugh at yourself, which again comes along the lines of having a high self-worth and having a good self-image. When you do something that requires confidence, a lot of times you will be in situations where not everybody gets your vision, where not everybody, even if you decide to put on a bold outfit, not everybody will think that's a bold outfit. There will be people who will think that's just a weird outfit. Sorry, my memory card got full. So there will be people who will just think that's a weird outfit. Whenever you decide to go, I don't know, have a business plan or a new idea, there will be people who will applaud you for it. There will be people who will laugh at you for it. And I am going like on extremes. They will literally point at you and mock. What will you do then? How do you stay confident? How do you keep telling yourself that no, they're probably thinking a good thing about you when they're literally looking at you and pointing at you and laughing? Because that has happened with me. The only way to be confident in those situations is if you can laugh at yourself. If you're aware enough to know that you are just a small part of a big universe, and when you realize that you can zoom out. When you look at your own life zoomed out, you will see things aren't as difficult, as sad, as complicated as they feel to you when you're in this body. That's just the case. Because when I zoom out, okay, what happened with me was that I was recording myself, the same vlog that I had to record myself. Therefore, the same vlog I was recording myself, actually this was with my phone, not the same vlog. And I was on the treadmill and I wanted to record myself running from the back camera. And if I'm, okay, I have my phone here. Hold on. Yeah. So I literally went 0.5 and I put my phone like this. You can't even see, I'm so out of frame. I need a better lens. And I was running, like really going for it on the treadmill, out of breath. And I told myself that nobody cares, nobody's gonna watch me. And as soon as I stopped, I turned around to see two guys at the gym literally looking at me and laughing. They asked me what I was even doing. Was I trying to get the signal? That's literally what happened. And in that moment, I could have become extremely conscious of myself and thought to myself, oh my God, this is so embarrassing, I will never do it again. Or what I did instead was realize that it did look funny. If I zoom out, somebody running on the treadmill with their phone in their hands like this, out of breath, can't even move properly and still recording themselves would look pretty darn funny. So what I did was I laughed. Problem occurs, you lose your confidence when you think that you are the center of the world. When you think that these people who are laughing at you right now will go home and talk to their friends about it, they'll have a laugh, then those friends will talk to other friends and they'll all have a laugh, and now you've become a laugh stock. That's not what happens. As soon as they go out of that place, you are not even that important to them anymore. They're not gonna keep talking about you. You are not that special. The key to confidence is realizing you are the only main character of your life, but in the grand scheme of things, you are not that special. In everybody's lives, they are the main characters, so nobody's gonna be thinking about you. In the moment, that's the deciding factor, how you feel about yourself in the moment. And if you can think to yourself, and I would not even say that it's a laughing matter all of the time. Suppose I was actually recording a serious thing and somebody made fun of me or for my accent maybe. I would feel a little bit offended maybe. But then I could zoom out and actually make sense that yeah, it's true. It doesn't make sense. Like, they're not used to somebody speaking like me. Of course, they're uncomfortable with the idea. Of course, they might make fun of it. It's not about me. It's never about me. When it comes to how people react to you, it is never about you. Never about you. And once you realize that, you won't take yourself so seriously. You won't lose your confidence on these petty things. Okay, so we've got your alter ego, we've got laughing at yourself. Now for the first point, the main point of this entire thing, because when that is correct, when that thing is moving fluently, your confidence will move fluently, which is your self-image. Okay, how do you fix your self-image? Very simple. You do mirror work. Mirror work is when I am in front of a mirror right now, and before I record myself, I will pretend that I am doing a TED talk, and I will go like walk around like this and talk to the camera. I will look in my own eye, which is the most difficult part. Try it, I promise you, you will lose words. Because as soon as you look at yourself, even in the mirror, you become conscious of yourself. When I'm looking here, when I'm looking there, when I'm talking to you, looking everywhere, I can gather my thoughts because I'm not that conscious. The second I look at the lens, I am aware that I am the one talking and I am aware of myself, and that is why I fumble upon these words. So to practice that, I literally go around the mirror talking to myself. I ground myself. Every single time you're about to enter a place where you know that you feel not that confident, just do a little bit of grounding. Place both your feet on the ground and take a breath. As you take this breath, just know that you're entering a new alter ego. Right, the things with alter ego is that the only time, and I even made a short on this topic, the only time you don't feel confident is when you feel like you are not good enough, or you are not good, or you are not good enough at whatever you're doing. So the example I gave was that the only time you don't feel confident entering the gym is when you think that you don't have the right body for it. The only time you don't feel confident in a meeting, presenting a meeting, is when you feel like others in that meeting are smarter than you and you don't feel like you are the right person to be telling them what to do, right? You can take this with any situation. The only time you will not feel confident on a camera is when you feel like you don't belong in front of a camera. So the only way to fix that using the alter ego is to get into the alter ego of somebody who is already successful at that thing. If you're entering the gym, you have already been working out for 5+ years, you already have that body, you are even a gym influencer. That's the alter ego you're going with. When you're leading a meeting, you are already the CEO of the company. That's the energy you're going with. That's the alter ego. And the thing about alter egos is that you don't even have to put in any work. You just have to pick out any character from any movie you've ever seen, be it Legally Blonde, okay? And you just have to get into that persona, because when you can't see yourself, you won't even realize. You just have to get that energy. You have to just tell yourself that you are this character and you are playing this character. And the more you do that, the better you get at it. The easier it is for you to shift between characters. Like right now, I can go from this to being Anushka to completely becoming Anu again. It's as simple as that for me now because I've been doing this for so long. The last key to confidence is that you cannot base your confidence on your success. You have to know you are worthy as you are, because otherwise your confidence will always be all over the place. Nothing in your life, not a lot of things in your life are in your control, not nothing, but a lot of things that we worry about, that we'll use confidence over, are not even in our control. So the more you understand, the more you place your confidence on yourself, on knowing that I know a way out of this, I can get myself out of this, I can deal with this, I know how to handle this, I am good enough for this. Instead of thinking, what will I do there? I don't know these people, I don't know this client, I don't speak this language. When you put all your faith on your ability to get things done, to just know you'll be good. And even if you're not good, even if you fail, that's okay. There will be a new time and you will have learned your lesson by then. And that again comes on how much can you trust yourself. Even if you fail, can you still trust yourself to know that you will still get back up the next day and do it all over again? With these videos that I'm making, I am literally getting like not even 100 views in some of them, at least. And I've been doing this for like 2+ years. And to know that every day I can still get up and I can still get in front of a camera and have the same energy, the same personality every single time, knowing that I am the shit because I said so, that makes you confident. It didn't come the first day, it didn't come the first month. It probably didn't even come the first year, I don't remember. But when you know that that's not your problem, that's not your problem how you'll figure it out, when you'll figure it out, when you'll succeed. The only thing you need to know is that it will happen. Because you said it will happen. Because you are the girl. Because you are that shit. That's how you become confident. Thank you so much for watching it till the end. I will see you next week not next week, tomorrow. This challenge is literally, oh my god, it is almost 11 p.m. right now, and I am recording this video because of the challenge. So, but anywho, I'm really excited. I'm getting to share all these thoughts with you guys. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if this video helped you. Comment down below which part was your favorite, which method you found the most helpful. If you want me to make a video on some other topic, that would be great. And I will see you in the next one.